All right. My name is Lea Salonga, and I am an actor and a singer. Oh, I think that would depend on the decade, because I remember living in New York um, when people were talking about it and when it was still something very new, as in the Tony Awards where Miss Saigon was nominated for a Tony. That was the first time those red ribbons were first introduced. And now they're ubiquitous. Now I'm thinking everybody knows what they are. But when I think of what World AIDS Day is, I think of it as remembrance of people that have passed, who lost their own personal battles against the disease. It's remembrance for the people that did survive and for the people that triumphed and are on their cocktails of meds every single day to survive and to celebrate another birthday. So there's both in my life. I know people that I have worked with and have become friends who have both triumphed, and when you look at them, it's like nothing happened. And I have a list of people in my head who died, who didn't make it out on the other side, and whose voices and faces are still so vivid, and the memories of them in rehearsals for shows, and how powerful and strong they were and how beautiful they were. So when December 1 comes along, it's those faces that I remember. And this is the infuriating part. This is what I don't understand. It's like we know how it's transmitted. We know it's either through sexual contact or through shared needles, shared drug use. It's where you share needles or blood transfusions. And so you do what you can to prevent yourself from getting it. I mean, hospitals and blood banks are very strict now with regards to who they can accept as possible donors, and the stricter they are, I guess, the safer the general population is. So then there's that. So we can kind of eliminate that, as a risk factor. And then as far as shared drug use, it's like you share a needle. It's like I'm not gonna slam you for your drug use, and there are people really who are addicted, who would like to get well, and good for you. But I'd like to think that people are not that stupid anymore to share a needle with somebody. It's just, one, it's besides that it's unsanitary. Two, you can get AIDS this way, and people are getting sick because of this, and it just takes one time, and that's it. With regards to sexual contact, use a condom. You reduce your chances of contracting HIV. And this is something that has been preached for a very long time. And this is also something that I'd like to think common sense would dictate. And that condoms aren't just to prevent a pregnancy, but they are to keep you from getting sick. And this is what I don't understand. Why this is such an easy thing. Why aren't people protecting themselves, knowing that this disease has no cure? There is no cure. Survival is much easier, but still, it's better to not have it at all. So that's what I don't understand. I don't know. Is it that people are just ashamed to walk into a pharmacy and buy a condom, or walk into their health center and get themselves condoms? Because I'm thinking the DOH actually provides these things. So if they are, and if cost is not an issue, then what is it? The shame? Is it Is it, oh, if somebody sees you going to Mercury or to Rose Pharmacy or to wherever buying condoms, pagchichismisan ka na, oy, nakita ko si ganito, si ganyan, bumibili ng condom, bakit kaya? Because the implication is, if they see you buying a condom, it means you're having sex. So is that something you don't want people to know, that you're actually having sex? Is that a problem? Is our culture just so conservative, and our young people so afraid of the stigma? Just ask yourselves, which is the worst stigma to have? That you're actually getting some, or that you have HIV? It's and I don't know. And I'd like to think that, I don't know, it's something that I really don't understand. This is 2016. I'd like to think people know better. I'd like to think people know better. And then and so what if you're seen buying condoms? And ano ngayon? At least, and if you see a friend of yours, oh, you're buying condoms? Like, yeah, because I don't want to catch anything, and I don't want to give anybody anything. Yeah, I mean, when I was applying for a green card, it's mandatory to get an AIDS test. And at the time that I got my green card, I was not at all sexually active, and I was about 21 years old. So the nurse looked at me it's like, you're like, absolutely not. I don't have, are you sexually, nope, absolutely not. And she looked at me like I was weird. Of course, this is in America, where by the age of 21, the assumption is you're having sex. But I was like, no. But I took it anyway. So if a 21-year-old virgin in New York City can volunteer to get an AIDS test, then it's okay. I've actually been tested for HIV. So okay, fine, put it on me. Say, yeah, Lea Salonga has been tested for HIV. So, you know what? Okay, fine, go get tested. I think it's the fear of what you might hear. It's one thing kasi to have never had sex and get an AIDS test and be completely confident with the result. You already know that you're going to hear, yes, you're HIV negative. I'm like, duh. But if you have been engaged in sexually risky behavior and kept on with the behavior for whatever amount of time, because it takes just one, I think it's that fear of what that nurse or that doctor could tell you. I think it's the same, it might be that same mentality of why there are lots of people who don't want to know if they have cancer or not. It might be that it's immediate death sentence, and it immediately changes everything. So I think there are people who find themselves better off not knowing and then just dying when they die. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know, I guess people just don't like hearing bad news or getting bad news of any kind. So is it, I'm trying to figure out if it's a combination of, is it this very judgmental bent that Catholics in the Philippines might have? Is it that we are such a conservative society that you think even buying a box of condoms is parang a sin graver than missing mass for a month? I mean, it's these things that are very difficult to understand, because, I mean, having become an adult in the States, in America, it's like, it's common sense. It's common sense to protect oneself, to prevent the spread of disease. Common sense na yun eh. It's like it's beyond ideology, it's beyond religion. It's just, common sense na lang. It's so I don't understand. Okay. To may mga ate, sa lahat ng mga aking mga fabulous na kaibigan na Becky, at pati na ng mga hindi ko kilala, ganito na lang, harap-harapang usapan na to. We have the data, and the trend is that there are more people now contracting HIV. And it seems that if this trend isn't stopped, you could be next if you aren't already. Number one, get yourself checked, please. And if you find yourself negative, then celebrate. After which, you must proceed to protect yourself if you are sexually active. I will not judge your lifestyle. I will absolutely not. I will not condemn. But I will admonish you and stress, and I don't think I can stress this enough. Please protect yourselves and those you love, because there is no cure for this, and I have seen how deadly it can be. I know people that have died, some of the most beautiful people that I have ever met. And so please, 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 for all of those that you hold dear, for your families, your loved ones, protect yourself and please get tested. And if you are positive, then take the next steps to get well. And then protect yourselves if you proceed to still be sexually active. We want this trend to go down. And the trend should. In the rest of the world, it's going down. We should have it come down here too. Let's get rid of this stigma of whatever chokehold our culture and other factors may have on us. Wag na lang matakot. Wag nang matakot. Live your lives as fabulously as you like. But I sure hope that fabulous life is a long one. So please get tested and protect yourself.